This is Tia Ballard.
This is Todd Habercorn.
This is David Vincent.
Hey, this is Sam Witwer.
This is Phil Lamar.
And you are listening to the Points of Interest.
Points of Interest.
Points of Interest.
And you're listening to Points of Interest Podcast Network.
Keep listening.
Well, hello, and welcome to the Points of Interest podcast. This is the most generic podcast on the internet. My name is Josh Hawks. I am the 303 Ninja. And right over there, he's my podcasting partner for life. He is the other guy. It's Mr. Francis Fernandez.
We only have 249 years and 362 days till the 500th birthday of the United States. Look at that.
Well, you know, you started it for the audio people. You know, Francis was voguing at the beginning there. If for everybody that was alive in the early 90s.
Then if the name Madonna doesn't confuse you, then you know what I was doing.
But see, the thing is that Madonna's 70 years old and still trying to be out there and relevant.
She's dating a 30-year-old, so I mean, what are you gonna do?
Good for her. I mean, she dated Vanilla Ice at one time.
She dated a bunch. She dated Dennis Rodman, didn't she?
I think so. Did she remember that book she put out, Sex? You remember that book?
Where it's just pictures of her naked?
Yeah, it's a picture of her and her friends and Vanilla Ice.
Oh, well.
Who always claimed that he didn't know what was going on. He just, was at a photo set naked on a backdrop with lights and didn't understand what was going on. He was 21. What did he know?
He doesn't know anything.
He's Vanilla Ice would make a great politician in the sense of like he's great at deflecting everything, not answering the question.
Look, here's the thing. He may not have known. He didn't follow up with his own words. He did not stop, collaborate, and listen. He just collaborated. He didn't. That's it.
Nice. 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 That was good. Yeah, so that was the Madonna portion of the show.
The best portion of the show. I'd like to think. Yeah.
I mean, hey, look, there was a time where she came out with like a country song, like sometime in the early 2000s, I believe it was, 2005 maybe, where she's like in a little country outfit. I was like, oh damn, look at Madonna go. Good for her.
This is just random because we're talking about singers, but somebody took pictures of Mariah Carey. Apparently over the weekend went to Disneyland, and people were taking photos of her because she was acting as if she were a regular civilian and not a celebrity. She was in civilian lines. She wasn't being cut through to the front with her family. She just stood in line for 3 hours to get on a ride like regular people did. And people were really shocked.
So the internet thought that, she goes to the ice caverns of the Fortress of Solitude and freezes.
Oh, right. Every Christmas. Yeah, at the end of Christmas. Yeah.
So that's not true. So her and so we need proof of the other guy. What's the other guy that only comes out
Michael
at Christmas?
Bublé needs
Thank you. I was going to say a different last name that was completely different and not even close. So I'm glad you said it. Yeah. So we need confirmation that Michael Bublé actually exists outside of December. So we have confirmation of Mariah Carey. I mean, she got kids though, doesn't she?
They were hit with her. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know anything about the lady. I know she speaks to dolphins.
Yeah. I'm just glad that she just acted like a normal person. It was very nice to see.
That is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, how many people out there, especially Disneyland or some kind of big theme park like that, or where some people don't get ushered in or ushered to the front, or Michael Jackson closing down an entire grocery store so you can feel like what it's like to shop in a public grocery store while it's closed to the public.
If I had money and fame like that, I would close that stuff too. You're kidding.
Well,
Shaq revealed that he he spent $70,000 at Walmart after moving from wherever he was to LA. I don't know where he was before he was a Laker, but apparently he spent a bunch of money, and people thought, and his card company was like, someone stole his credit card. Shaq wouldn't shop at a Walmart. they're like, yeah, no, Shaq wouldn't shop at a Walmart. No, that's stupid. He wouldn't shop at a Walmart, but he did. He shopped for stuff at a Walmart because he's just like regular people, like
Right.
you and me. All right.
Yeah, you and I spend $70,000 at Walmart
Well, no,
all
we
the
shop at a
time.
Walmart. I mean, I shopped at a Walmart. I mean, not recently, but I've shopped at Walmart
Well, yeah, I mean,
in the last 5 years, I think.
you know,
At least once.
sometimes look, there's a few things that you can always guarantee. Walmarts are always going to have good toys,
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. I agree.
and
I agree.
depending on the Walmart,
Yeah.
you're going to get better toys than the other one. But they're always going to have a good toy section. There's a Walmart. I haven't checked its status on the toy collector, dark web websites that I go to, but there's one particular Walmart that used to be known as the place to go to get stuff, and I frequented that Walmart when I had extra money years ago.
I had money.
Yeah, and didn't have anything else to spend money on. So, going to this one Walmart to get the short pack or what have you, that was, it was a mission. Gave me something to do. Yeah, what the hell are we talking about? Oh, you know what?
Celebrities.
Yeah,
go on.
celebrities doing stuff. I don't know where to go from that, really. I don't know how we got there necessarily. You said that we said something about Madonna and just kind of went from there.
It was my fault. Trust
It's
me.
okay.
Yeah,
It's okay.
I know. I
See, but this works though, because it helps in the random wrestling thing that I have. So since we started with something random, we can just
let's jump into the random wrestling
continue being random. In wrestling history, on this day, in 1996, was the day that the New World Order was formed. When Hulk Hogan, the guy that had been the red and yellow, the ultimate baby face all throughout the 80s and arguably put wrestling on the map, turned to a heel, turned to the bad guys, and gave the leg drop to Randy Macho Man Savage.
Hi, Ginger. Welcome.
And turned bad guy and led on what was arguably the coolest storyline in WCW. It went head to head against Monday Night Raw for 83 weeks in a row. WCW was number one in wrestling for whatever that is, 83 weeks. Year and a half.
Am I imagining things when I thought that he went from the orange and yellow, or yellow and red, or whatever,
Red and yellow.
his red and yellow, to black?
Yes.
Didn't he go to black when he went heel?
Yes. So the
Okay.
NWO, as they were known as, these names aren't going to land on you at all because you didn't watch wrestling. But there was
I did
two guys in WWF, Razor Ramon and Diesel, and their contracts were coming up, or they came up, and neither one of them re-signed, and they signed with WCW. The guy that was running WCW at the time, Eric Bischoff, was a big fan of Japanese wrestling as well, and saw a storyline in a Japanese wrestling organization that was an invasion of quote unquote outsiders from that organization, perceived outsiders.
Okay.
So he took this storyline, manipulated it a bit, and brought in these two huge names from the WWF and brought them into WCW as they were literally called the Outsiders.
Nice.
Their gimmicks were basically the exact copies from WWF. They actually got in trouble because it was so closely related. But the guy that Razor Ramon, Scott Hall, he came out, he grabbed a microphone during a match and just said, all of you know who I am, but you don't know why I'm here. And my teenage brain, 97, so 1920.
Yeah.
I was
teenager,
blown.
yeah.
I was like, why is these WWF guys on WCW? and they kept the story. I was hook, line, and sinker. Not thinking at all, this is an actual angle within the company. But for the first few weeks, a month, I thought it was these WWF guys coming in and like, what's going on? And it was awesome. It got me back in. It got me into wrestling, really, as a young adult, away from, you know. I had this conversation recently. I guess this kind of makes sense. When you're a teenager, when you're a kid, you like what you like. You like dinosaurs. You like wrestling. You like Transformers. Whatever you like.
Correct. Yes.
Then you become a preteen teenager, and then you tell your new friends that you're meeting, I'm into Transformers. I'm into this. I like cartoons. And you get made fun of, or you get shunned. So I think I can't speak for everybody. This is my story, but a lot of things that I liked and was into, I hid away for years because I wanted to fit in. That's always, I've always wanted to just fit in. I never feel like I fit in. And it wasn't until I was like in my early 20s where I was like, wait a second. No, I like wrestling. I like cartoons. I like collecting toys. What the fuck am I doing? I don't want to be what everybody wants me to be. I'm going to be myself.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Makes sense.
And I see that. There's a lot of people that when I say that, there's a lot of people like, oh shit. No, you're right. Because it was, you know, I got back into whatever in my late 20s or in my 30s. I got back into the thing that I was so into as a teenager. Yeah, it's fucking peer pressure is a motherfucker. Sometimes you can, I mean, it's the goal is to find the people you want to, you know, call your friends and spend your time with like-minded or into the same things that you're into. Sometimes you just find friends that are weird like you and they don't give a shit.
They're not weird.
They're not weird, but
share your passion, my friend.
Yeah, not even sharing but none of my friends understand why I like wrestling. You barely understand it.
No, I understand why people like wrestling. I understand why you like wrestling. Because a lot of people like wrestling, so I get why people like wrestling.
Like, and then I'll bring something up, and they're like, "You still watch that, Josh? How old are you?" I'm like, don't worry about how old I am. I like it. It's fun. It's entertaining. You know, you're watching murder porn and
no
fucking movie TV shows about court procedures.
Yeah.
Like what's fascinating about that? We can have that argument. And that's not real life either. I've been to court and it ain't like that. I got thrown out of a court. I'm a bear poker, Francis. If you haven't figured that out.
Are you? I mean, you're not that much. I mean, you're not like poking big bears. You're poking tiny bears.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. But, you know,
you're not getting to the point where you're like on a list where people are trying to like, you know, stop you.
No.
Right. For poking.
No, but like, you know, I think it's good to poke bears. Yeah. Sometimes. You gotta know when to walk away, I guess. But
you gotta know when to hold them, when to fold them.
Yeah, man. I remember being in like softball or baseball or something like that, and bringing up that I knew that song through the Chipmunks, and not through
Kenny Rogers.
Kenny Rogers.
Kenny Rogers. You do it through the Chipmunks.
I was a kid. What the fuck do you want? The Chipmunks sang it, so that's how I knew it because the Chipmunks sang it. I mentioned it at softball, baseball practice, and that was the last time I talked to anybody on my team.
I am going to listen. I didn't know the Chipmunks did the Gambler song. I am totally listening to the Gambler from the Chipmunks because I've only heard Kenny Rogers sing it, and he did the movie where he starred as the Gambler. But anyway, yeah, I need to now listen to Alvin and the Chipmunks sing the Gambler because that's such a crazy song to sing as the Chipmunks.
It is, right?
What a crazy song to sing.
The other thing about the Chipmunks that's crazy, all three of them were one guy.
I believe that.
I didn't, you know, took me years before I'd
Oh
actually.
well, I mean, I didn't know until you told me, but I mean, I could believe that one person did the voices.
Yeah, I mean they're all just pitched differently.
Yeah.
Craziness. All right, so that's a random section over.
Yeah.
Yay wrestling.
Yay wrestling.
There was some wrestling going on Twitter and the internet last week though. The shit always happens the day after we record things. So, we're always a week behind the events, but
Technically, in this case, we're not.
it's still happening. This one is still happening. I keep popping. Sorry.
It's relevant.
So last week,
Yeah.
Sony, they were first out of the gate with everything. And I'm blaming GTA 6 partially for this.
Sure.
But Sony came out and said, we are ceasing disc production sometime next year.
No, in 2028.
2028. So the gaming collective lost their brain, and my Twitter feed has been consumed by people bitching about the death of physical media, 2, people showing off their collections of physical media,
Oh yeah, I've seen a lot of those. Yeah.
and 3, people helping other people learn how to pirate and make ROMs and other things. And I love it all. Everybody kind of gave me shit when I bought these emulators over the last couple years. They're looking real good right now. Yes, a lot of them are shitty ROM copies, or PAL to NTSC. But I have the game. And I kind of want to dust off my PS1 and my gigantic CD folder full of pirated games and show them off on the internet so I can be like everybody else. The other thing that worries me is that Sony is the sole producer of Blu-ray discs. What's going to happen now? Blu-ray's dead now too. I know it basically is because of streaming. Yes, whatever. But they're the only people that make Blu-ray discs. So what's that mean?
Are they? I don't know.
So Sony owns the Blu-ray.
Sony owns the technology, but they licensed it out for other people to make.
Yeah, but if they don't want you to fucking if they don't want to license it, then you don't get to make your movie on disc.
I feel like another company would step up. And
I would hope so.
over.
But that's the side worry that kind of popped up in my head as I was just thinking about things. But I mean, it's so tough because what makes me mad is that the companies were all like, "Oh, we're gonna go to cloud gaming and digital, and it's gonna be great for everybody, for all of you, especially the gamers. You have more room on your shelves now." And then people started, like the thing with Sony happened 2 weeks ago, where they announced whatever digital distributor that has these 30,000 videos, whatever the number was.
It was 500. It was 500 movies.
Okay, 500 movies that you purchased. Not all 500, but whatever of these 500 that you purchased, you're losing the right to because we lost just the partnership with these guys.
Right.
And now we're taking your discs away from you entirely. You're not even going to give you the option.
Sort of, yes. PlayStation won't produce discs, which makes me think that it's their So in response to this, a lot of other companies are saying we're making discs. They're making dicks.
Well, I mean,
they're making discs.
They could be making dicks of themselves if they follow suit. But go on.
They're making discs of their games. One particular game that I'm particularly interested in is called, oh god, now I forgot the name of it, but it's a gun fu game that I've been following. And they're like, we weren't going to make a physical copy of this, but now we are, and they now partnered with a company to make physical discs. So They didn't have to go through Sony to do it.
Hmm.
And it is a PlayStation 5 game. So they're going through another company to make the PlayStation 5 disc. So you can go through other things. The thing is, the PlayStation, it looks like PlayStation is discontinuing it in preparation for PlayStation 6, which is coming out in a couple of years, because that system is going to be discless, most likely. Like the PlayStation 5 Pro that I have came originally discless. You have to buy a separate device to attach to it so you can play discs.
Yes.
So, yes. Here's the twist. Here's the rub. Xbox So, before I get to Xbox, actually, I should say, the reason why they're getting rid of discs is because they looked at the numbers and like 80% of people buy digitally. Like 80% of people buy digitally on the console. I'm one of them. I only buy digital. Sure. I don't buy discs because I don't have anywhere to put them. And plus, I just don't want to feel like I have to take it out, put in a new one. I just like being able to click and have it start. Do I want discs to be available? I do, because that means that there's a choice for people to buy one way or the other, and B, as people often pointed out, discs are usually cheaper than the digital version of the games. You can get it cheaper on Amazon, Walmart, and other places, Best Buy, etc. So that's reason number one. But like you said, everyone wants to go on the high seas now to get the games, which leads me to Xbox. If you want your favorite game to exist, you have to buy it. Otherwise, that people 3,000 plus people get fired from their company because no one's buying their games, and you're not going to get any game that you want or don't want. I mean, this includes games that you do want and games that you don't really care about. Like, unless you purchase the games without pirating, which I understand why people want to pirate, because if you don't own a game, that means that pirating isn't stealing. I get it. But if more and more people do that and these games don't get any profit, that's the last game you'll see. You'll never see GTA 7. You're never going to see...
we might not see GTA 6, technically.
Well, I mean, it's going to be November, man. But you're not going to see these games, which is like the funny part that I see no one talking about. It's like, yes, they have you in a chokehold, and yes, you can pay with you can protest with your dollar, but at the same time, like, where are you gonna go? Right? I'm gonna go PC. Well, great, cool. Okay. When PlayStation goes away, guess what happens to the cost of those PC games?
Well, I'm glad you brought up PC. I'm glad you brought it up, because nobody bitches about Steam.
No, they don't.
I have friends that have 50 games on Steam. None of them have a disc. They're all digital purchases. And no one on the PC side of things bitches or complains. Mostly because a lot of games don't die. Servers will stay open for decades.
Sort of.
So it depends. It depends.
Yeah.
Some games are so beloved, Command & Conquer, that the people that made the game that no longer work for the studio recreated the game and gave it to the public. Like, you guys love it so much. Here's the game. It's the actual game too. Don't ask us how we did it, but here's the actual game.
Don't ask questions. Just take it.
Yeah,
take.
I own it.
Yeah,
I'll give you the link if you want it. But yeah, nobody. The same argument isn't there for PC gaming, and it's interesting to me. The console hardcore console gamers, the very small faction that really want to hang on to physical media. I'm in that group. I love physical media. The thing about physical media, though, it does deteriorate. DVDs,
yeah, I mean, it takes a long time. But
DVDs, Blu-rays, CDs take a long time as long as you take care of them. But they eventually will start to deteriorate. Not through. It's not like a groove gets worn into them or anything like that. But the material just deteriorates. You ever seen those videos of people store shoes for fucking 10 years and they take them out and they fall apart? Horrible investment.
Made of plastic.
Yeah, plastic and rubber. Guess what happens to plastic? What? Leave your tires on your car for 10 years to see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
But you're right about the PC thing. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I agree.
the other thing that really irks a lot of gamers out there is that Sony said that they're also shutting down the Vita and
PlayStation 3 stores. Yeah, the
PlayStation
online
3 stores.
Yeah.
So PlayStation 3 store, I mean, it's two generations ago.
Yeah, it's over. Yeah, it's like
I
10
mean,
plus years. Like,
Yeah, it's probably okay.
actually,
Probably okay to
20
let that
years
one.
ago. Yeah.
The Vita, definitely 15 years it's been out.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you the last time I saw a Vita release of anything.
Well, no, Vita has stopped production of that years and like you said.
I'm just
like
saying,
15
I
years
never
ago.
really saw production of anything Vita.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
You
me
know,
too.
I saw more people that was the UMD player, right?
No, that the UMD was PlayStation Portable. This was proprietary Sony SD discs or
Yeah.
mini
disc. Did they
not
have
mini
movies?
disc SD slots. What?
Oh, okay.
They had no, they didn't have movies. Like
Okay.
UMD was only PSP, which they had movies for.
Okay. I got the two confused.
Yeah.
So that irked a lot of people. Like I said, it's been a long time since PS3 has been out. It's probably okay to let that store die. How many people are still purchasing on the PS3?
So the argument to keeping the stores is preservation. In other words, those games don't exist anywhere but in the store, right?
Oh,
There's no physical versions of those games, etc. I don't know what to say about that, in all honesty, because I'm like, yeah, it's important to preserve stuff, sure, but like, I don't know. Like you said, it's been X number of years. Like, I don't know who it's for, other than people who want to. Like, I guess as long as there's an emulation online for that, which I think that's what the perfect reason why emulation should exist, is because games like that deserve to exist outside of time.
Mhm.
So even if the PlayStation 3 goes away, the Vita goes away, those games, those ROMs are online somewhere, so you can play it sometime, because they're not making any money. The companies who made those games aren't making any money out of it anymore.
Yeah, they don't
market's
exist.
All secondary. Yeah, exactly. Those companies don't even exist. So
Yeah,
it's like it's all
that's the
secondary
thing.
market.
Like, that's my argument for a lot of the stuff that's out there. Like, if yes, Atari as a company exists by name, but they're not a gaming company anymore. So I don't think it's wrong to ROM any Atari game. They're not in the gaming business anymore.
Yeah.
They're
And
just
nostalgia.
it's an IP. That's all it is at this point.
I agree.
Naughty Dog still exists, I think. But let's say they didn't. Let's say they didn't anymore.
Sure.
And in this hypothetical world, they weren't under Sony's umbrella at the time. So you want to play what the fuck was that game called? Crash. You want to play you want to play Crash Team Racing.
Of all
The game that
yeah.
nobody wanted to play.
Yeah.
But you want to play it. And there's a ROM for it. And in this hypothetical world situation I'm in, I think it's totally okay to ROM that out. Any game, anything that doesn't exist anymore, it's free will. What is 150 years or something like that for something, or 50 years or 75 years for things to be public domain?
Oh, 90 years after the death of the creator. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's too long.
For copyright. Yeah.
That's too long.
Stuff.
That's too long.
Well, blame Disney. That's why they use that to keep Mickey Mouses for as long as they possibly can.
Sure.
Before putting it into public domain.
Well, and the version of Mickey that's out there is more closer to that Steamboat Willie version.
Yeah, they did a horror movie of Steamboat Willie because it was in public domain.
Well, and there was a stipulation with it. Like, you can use it, but it couldn't have the gloves, or it had to have the gloves, or there was some kind of a stipulation in there where you could do whatever you want as long as this one stipulation. I don't remember what. I could be making shit up. I don't know. But yeah, the death of physical media. It's Well,
Here's the thing.
it's the beginning of it, I should say.
The last thing I'll say about it before we move on is Sony doesn't care, despite all the protests. They're still going to do it because the general public is still going to buy digital, and they're not going to buy physical. It is a system for families. That's why it'll never die, because it's not meant for the hard. Like, I'll just get a PC. Yeah, you're a gamer. You're going to get a PC, and you're an adult. But for families, they're going to go to the PlayStation or the Switch, right? They're going to go to those systems because it's something they can share in the living room with their family and with their friends. You know, a 10-year-old or like, I'll even go older. Like a 15-year-old is not going to go out and buy a $12,000 PC. They're going to get $700 PlayStation as a gift from their parents, and they're going to play with their friends on that thing. That's what's going to happen. They're not going to be like, oh, they're not making discs anymore. I guess I'm not going to get a PlayStation. Boo them. No, they're going to go stick with it, and it's going to continue. Is it right for them? Yeah. Go on. Sorry.
Well, it's. I think it's a small percentage, but it's a very loud percentage.
And I want them to win.
I do too.
Despite everything I'm saying, I want the small minority to win. I want discs to stay.
Behind me, you can't see because it's all blurred, but behind me is 2 bookshelves full of movies and games. Yeah. There's some things that never made it to Blu-ray. There's some things that barely made it out of first generation DVD. You're not going to find it anywhere. You might find a grainy ass version on YouTube or a super fucked up version on a place where boats hang out, maybe. Calm water boat places.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, go on.
Just trying to be funny. But to have the actual media to be able to put it into some sort of player and play it, and the ability to display it on a future TV, I mean, I think that's cool. I mean, am I yearning to go back and watch a VHS in 360p? No. But there's a few things on VHS that we have that never made it to DVD. Never made it to VHS. They were TV movies or whatnot. You know, if you want to have a nostalgic run and you can get it to play on a future TV, I'd watch it. Yeah, I have a disc player from the early 80s that maybe 360p that plays laser disc type things that, you know, one of these days I'm going to hook it up and have a nostalgic afternoon watching movies that I have to get up off my couch and physically flip a disc over and reinsert it and listen to it in mono and be happy.
Oh, yeah.
Be happy that I have it.
I get it.
There's a game I thought about playing recently and I looked through everywhere. It's unavailable everywhere. Luckily I have it and I have the system to play it on. Now I need the motivation to hook it up, but I have it in case I have the motivation. And to not have that would suck.
It would. You
know, it's kind of the thing about collecting or possibly the bordering hoarding. It's like the one day you might want that to scratch that itch. And if you don't have it, you're going to be upset as hell. But if you got it, you're like, hey, I'm glad I held on to this for the last 25 years. So I get this 5 minutes of nostalgia.
No, I agree. Like, I every year for many Christmases, people would be like, I'm going to watch Die Hard for Christmas, et cetera, et cetera. And I didn't own the video, and I still don't own it. I own it on digital, so I technically don't own it. But I have I finally, eventually, 2 years ago, I'm like,
you have the permission. You have the permission to watch it.
Exactly. I have as long as they're allowed to show it to me, I have the permission to watch this movie. But like, it took for like at least 10 years, people were saying, I'm going to watch Die Hard. And I didn't have it, and they don't stream it during the holidays because they want you to rent it. They want you to pay for it because they know you'll have FOMO if you don't get it. So I'm like, I'm going to wait some summer when it's on sale. I'm going to go buy the movie, finally, and I can watch it every Christmas. And I do. for the last 2 years, I watched it like not on Christmas, but during the holiday season, I watch Die Hard. So like, it does being able to preserve and have those old things available to you is super important because you do important in the sense of like, it's not life or death, but it's like you're gonna want to see something, you want to experience something again, and some hero luckily will have it posted somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like for instance, my last example is in the 90s. I used to watch a lot. I didn't used to watch. There was only a couple of Filipino movies I used to watch as a kid, as a teenager. And
Were they about billiards and bowling?
Is that what Filipinos do? I don't know.
That's just silly.
I don't know if that's a thing, actually.
I mean,
I know it's karaoke and something else. I didn't know it was billiards and bowling.
Okay,
So
well, I
that's
mean,
good.
in my younger years, the two Filipinos I had experience with, that's what they did. So, okay.
And we do like, I mean, I personally like billiards and bowling, but yes, this movie was about these are two famous comedians from the Philippines who did a movie about being garbage men. And like, it's a big comedy. It's really stupid. There's a musical like interlude where everyone's dancing. It's a really dumb movie, but I'm like, man, I hadn't seen that since I was like a kid. I wonder if it still exists somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And some hero put that movie, I won't say where because I don't want it taken down, but they put it online somewhere for free. And I'm like, oh, great. Awesome. One day I'm going to sit down and watch this VHS copy. It has all the squiggly little lines on it as if it's a VHS copy. So somebody put a VHS copy of this movie because I'm sure they never made a Blu-ray or DVD version of it.
Sure.
But I get to watch this movie that I used to reminisce about, or I used to watch all the time as a kid. You know, I get to relive my childhood through this film that is really bad, but I'll watch it anyway.
Right. Quality, both in presentation and content, is irrelevant when it comes to nostalgia.
Exactly. Agreed. So,
yeah, I don't know. It's just nice to have it there. Like I said, in case, and that's what I'm saying. Collecting and hoarding are the fine line in between the two.
yeah, I mean,
because hoarders say the same thing. Oh, I might need that one day.
Yeah, but hoarders hoard like old newspapers or something, or like a box, like several boxes.
Sure.
And I guess that's important. You know, you might need to pack something away someday in a box, but like, it's mostly trash. This is entertainment. We're trying to preserve entertainment.
I mean,
and we want to preserve our entertainment.
You're an adult when you look at a box and you go, "That's a damn good box."
That's true. I do. Yeah, I do look at some boxes and be like, "Man, I need to somehow keep this box because I can use it for later."
My old roommate looked at me sideways when he bought a brand new TV, big flat screen TV. And I told him, because we did a lot of car working stuff at the time, and we were always on our backs and laying in oil and ruining our clothes. And I was like, hey man, if you take this box and you flatten it out, you kind of have like it'll sop up oil because it's cardboard, and you can slide around on it and roll, be a little more comfortable than concrete. And up until a couple years ago, this dude kept 2 of his gigantic TV boxes to crawl underneath things. I'm like, see, the refrigerator box, yeah, it could be a helicopter, but it can also, be comfortable to lay on underneath a car.
Yeah. Repurposing old stuff like that, big deal.
Computer boxes. Computer boxes might be the best box because they're sturdy. They're made out of the good cardboard. Yeah. And you can pack a lot of stuff into into them because they're sturdy. They're stapled. That's where all of my toys are in computer boxes.
So funny. Yes. Yeah, I agree. So there you go. Sony, keep your digital.
And it's not just a toy collector thing or whatever. People would come into grocery stores and ask, "Hey, can I have your boxes?" Or a liquor store, "Can I have your boxes?"
Yeah, they do that for moving. Yeah.
So, it's not too weird to look at a box and be like, "Yeah, it's a good box." We're both here.
That's what he said.
Let's do a hand check. I have all my fingers. So,
Okay.
4th of July was fun, but it wasn't dangerous.
Oh. I'm like, what does that mean? Yes, I have my fingers.
Yeah, we're not at an anime show watching hentai. I think you told me about that one time.
Yeah.
4th of July
Watch.
happened. People are really 50-50 on 4th of July celebrations. You either love it or hate
Not
it.
from what I saw.
What's that?
People were in. Not from what I saw. People
Well,
were
I mean,
all in.
Look, Angelinos are going to do whatever they want.
I guess so.
And even here, Aurorians, whatever, Denverites, pretty much the whole state was firework banned, but there were fireworks all weekend and still happening. So people are going to do what they want. To the point where even some of the local police departments put out statements like, do call us for these. Don't call us because, Becky and Steve are letting fireworks off. That's not a reason to call us.
Yeah.
If they set your house on fire, call us. But otherwise, let them have a good time. But I was actually alone. I was dog sitting. So wasn't too exciting for me. I didn't set any fireworks off, because of dogs. But I watched fireworks. That's always a good time.
Yeah.
Whether they were amateur or professionally put off, I enjoy it. I like, it. You see one firework, you've seen every firework. I understand that. But there's something about the concussion that comes with it, and it's kind of fun watching it. There is science to a firework. It's a ball and then it explodes and makes a heart in the sky. Like, that's fucking cool. Or a butterfly or something. Like, to me, that's kind of cool. But to a lot of pet owners, it's not fun. It's not a fun holiday. A lot of pet owners didn't think that way until they had pets, but it's cool.
Yeah, I feel bad for pet owners. Yeah, because they there were a few call outs on social media where they're like, what can I do to to keep them away, or like how do I, like, just different like methods of how to protect their pets from the loud booms of fireworks, because it is loud. It is a foreign sound. You only hear it like for 1 week out of the year.
Sure.
Right? You never really hear it during the New Year's or during other holidays. So unless it's Colorado Day or whatever, I think you guys do fireworks on Colorado Day, on 303 or whatever.
Colorado will throw fireworks for anything.
Any reason. Yeah. So like you have to have. So I get the apprehension, but yeah, no, I mean fireworks are everywhere for whatever reason, whether it's just to celebrate fireworks or whatever. I mean, it's technically, again, it was technically a milestone year because of that. I was really hoping a quarter would come out like they did for the bicentennial, but apparently not.
No, they did.
Did they come out with a coin?
Yes.
Oh, I want the coin.
But they did a super limited run. I don't know what the number is, but a super limited run of America 250 coins are now in circulation.
Oh, I want it. I just think it's fun to just have like those like the bicentennial coin and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, that's what do they call it? The bi quarters, and what do they call this one?
It's the quarter millennial. I don't think they're going to call it that though.
Oh. Yeah, no.
It's the quarter millennium. It's 250 years.
Yeah.
Oh, it's this. Oh my God, no! Here it is. It's the semi-quincentennial.
Yes, that's the word I was looking for.
Okay, can I just say boo to that? That's a stupid.
Well, I mean, if they still called it shell shock, a lot of veterans would get the help they need. But because it's 8 syllables and 2 hyphens, nobody gives a fuck. Thanks, George Carlin. I'm not smart enough to think of that on my own.
It's a quarter. Good. I'm gonna have to look for this quarter.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what the run is, but they said it's a very limited run. So in coin production, that could still mean thousands.
I mean,
would
if I were
guess.
wealthy, I'd be a coin collector. I love coins. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about coins that I love, but I love coins.
But see, that's the thing. You don't have to justify why you're into something. And again, that goes back to, oh, you still like Transformers? Aren't you a fucking 18? Like, well, yeah, I don't like Transformers anymore. I don't know what you're talking about. Somebody else said that.
I'm glad I never had that moment. Yeah.
I had that moment quite a few times. And it actually took somebody that was in their 30s. I think he was in his 30s, late 20s, early 30s, to be like, hey, man, you like Transformers. You told me this. I collect them. I'm giving you some to start your collection with.
That's very nice.
I mean, he gave me a bunch of shit, but it sparked what it needed to spark for me to be like, I need to not have these shit toys and get better ones. I'm not just saying they were shit because, no, they were actually shit toys, but it's okay. It sparked what it needed to spark. And there I was a couple years later inside of a consignment store arguing over an inbox Transformer. So, paid $80 for a fucking toy that cost $15 in 1985. But that's okay. So yeah, 4th of July stuff, it happened. Everybody that I know still has their fingers. So the one thing that was kind of cool with the World Cup going on, which I still don't understand anything about soccer, Europeans experiencing 4th of July for the first time.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
And just blown away by, like, wait, you guys set off explosives? Like,
I would think they'd know that though. I feel like they'd know that.
Knowing something and experiencing something are totally different things.
Okay, no, that's true. That's true. I agree.
Everybody well, okay, that was going to be a bad example. Never mind. So yeah, again, the World Cup stuff. I mean, now that America's out, like, the country doesn't care. I saw that as soon as they lost last night, and Twitter was like, all right, well, on to the next thing. When does football start?
Yeah, I mean, soccer's not really. I mean, as much as you try to make it an American sport, nobody really cares about the Galaxy which is the only soccer team I know of because it's in LA.
We have the Rapids, so.
Oh, you got the Rapids? Okay.
Yeah.
So, like,
which doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, there's no household name for a lot of these teams. Like, I can name football teams, Detroit Lions, etc.
Sure.
49ers, blah, blah, blah. I can't name soccer teams. Like, I couldn't, except for Galaxy. That's the only one I can name.
Sure. MLS, where you actually have teams, but these are countries.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So they don't have a team name. They're just, it's England, whatever.
We're Team USA.
Yeah. I think I talked about it last time, but like the Messi guy, Lionel Messi, I thought he was Italian. Turns out he's Argentinian.
Yeah.
There's another guy, not Pele. He's dead. Some other soccer person.
You mentioned him last week too, which is so funny that you remember his name again.
And I don't remember where he's from or anything. I was like, oh, okay. I've heard about these names, but
I gave you the name. What was the name? Because I gave it to you.
I don't remember. It doesn't matter. Or Ronaldo.
Oh yeah, Ronaldo. Yeah.
Yeah. It's for whatever. It was cool. I got to see them do their soccer thing and score goals. Now I can say I've seen it. I don't get it, but I've seen it.
Of all the sports, really, that's the easiest one to get because it's just kick ball into net.
Yeah, but I mean, like the intricacies of the rules, like you play for 90 minutes. Why does the clock never stop? Why after 90 minutes are you still playing? Why does the clock just end and nobody knows when? Only the ref.
Yeah, because they do, depending on certain penalties, they add time to the clock as opposed to pausing the clock for whatever reason. Right. They add time to the clock, so the clock can go on for infinity if there's enough certain number of penalties or something.
They score a goal, and the clock just keeps going while they're celebrating and running and taking their clothes off and hugging each other and it's weird. How much time are you allowed to celebrate? How much time before they just say, fuck it, kick the ball, and the team just gets the ball? They do that in hockey.
Yeah.
If
Over
you-
the timer doesn't stop?
If you don't come to the face-off fast enough, the referee just drops the puck with only one guy in the face-off circle.
I think, well, look, I'm sure you appreciate it more than the last 2 minutes of a football game where it takes half an hour to complete because they have timeouts and everything they do stops the clock, and the last 2 minutes of a football game. So
I'm not.
I think you'd appreciate that soccer just never
Sure,
the timer
I
stops.
can appreciate that. Yes, I'm not sure who is the bigger offender though, NBA or NFL, when it comes to milking the game / milking advertisement.
Well, the thing is with
30,
at least with football.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go on.
No, go ahead.
At least with football, it's not as obvious. In basketball, they straight up foul the guy, if they need more time. They want to stop the clock. They're like, all right, I guess I'm just gonna hug you now or whatever, or
Right.
like they're just gonna start like fouling other players to make the time stop. So like it's a little more blatant in basketball than in football, where it's like, okay, well, we got to set up or we got to do this. Like there's a little bit more nuance to it.
Sure,
Yeah.
but
I think NBA is way bigger, culprit.
either way though, when the whistle blows, they're like, we could squeeze in 2 commercials. Let's do that.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, they got bills to pay.
Do they? Do they really?
Yeah, that money goes. Yeah, that money goes. Those executives aren't going to get private planes and yachts on their own.
They're, exactly.
They got to get their cash, man.
They're $5,000 box of cigars. Right.
You can't pay for that kind of stuff by not putting commercials on. You got to put the commercials on. Make those corporations pay.
Exactly. Well, actually, speaking of paying, Francis.
Yes.
How much money did you spend at Anime Expo?
Oh. Well, I'm glad you asked.
Well, I mean, it was on the list of things. I was trying to work it in. So.
Well, no, the spending part, because I'm going to start this with a funny story. So, it's lunchtime. I had been there for a few hours. I went to get a meal. Of course, all food there are inflated. Prices are very expensive. But I went and got myself a sandwich, a little like cream puff fried bread thing, and a soda. About $45, give or take. Okay. Now with me, I've been complaining about my feet lately. I told you about turtles where I needed, like, I wish I had a chair. My feet were killing me. Same here. I mean, I had been standing for several hours. For some reason, my feet are just not agreeing with me. I used to be able to stand for hours years ago. For some reason, ever since I got the new kidney, I haven't been able to stand for very long. I don't know what happened.
Did they put the kidney in the right place and not on the bottom of your foot?
No, they might be in the bottom of my feet. So I had my little stool thing to sit down. So anyway, I use my stool a lot because my feet were not agreeing with me, which kind of sucks because I was with some people, which I'll explain after this. But I went and got my meal. I'm like, I got to put the stool away. I can't just walk around with just this extended stool. There are no tables, no real place to put my food down. But there are these 2 trash cans that were like far enough apart where there's a gap where I could put my food down and they'd balance, right? I put it down. I seal up my thing, put it away, and I reach out for the food. And the thing was, it wasn't balanced. It wasn't balanced at all. And it fell into the trash can. Downward, face down.
Oh.
I would have saved it if it was face up.
Sure.
It went face down. 2 congoers look at me, their face dropping. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. As if they did it, but they didn't. Obviously, they were just like sorry for me for losing my $40 meal into the trash can.
Jesus, yeah.
And I'm like, and I just stood there and laughed for like 5 minutes. I was like, of course this would happen to me. Oh, and I was just cracking up, and people were staring at me, but like, I don't care. This is so stupid. I dropped my $40 worth of food into a trash can. This is so dumb. So that was the most I spent at the convention. Was the $40 for the food, because I didn't have to spend anything at Anime Expo. So, get there at 7 o'clock. Okay, con starts at 9. Get there at 7. There is a long line of people who have been there since probably around 3, 4 a.m. I think.
My
Maybe
God.
even the
Okay.
maybe even the night before. It was a really long line. Um, and I found out why they were there the night before, actually later on. But I get in line. I'm in it as when I'm by myself. I don't talk to anybody. But for some reason, because it's 7 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, I talked to this lovely uncle and his nephew, and this lovely lady beside me who was just there by herself, and we all started talking, and we were just making fun of the line. We are making fun of the con because it was all of our first time. For some reason, it was all of our first time. I hadn't been in 20 years, which makes this my first time at this type of con
Sure.
at this level. But like we were all talking about it, we're all making fun, and you know. And when we finally got in, for some reason, myself and the girl, we stuck around and hung out together for about the first few hours till her friend came in. Her friend was supposed to be there. The con itself has gone from, I went there again in 2007. The con itself has evolved into San Diego Comic-Con. It's corporations, it's businesses.
It's LA Convention Center.
It is at LA Convention Center, which is being reconstructed right now. But it was at the LA Convention Center, and like I said, it was all the anime part of it was pushed to the side.
Okay.
It was all of it, the two main. So there were two exhibitor halls, two vendor halls, okay, and a separate artist hall, which I'll talk about later. But there's two vendor halls, and the two vendor halls were all gacha games, which is what I play, which is all like free gambler games where you play little cute Chinese Asian anime characters, right, on a video game. Those were the big ones, and then there was Square Enix and Atlas, so like a bunch of different video game things.
Okay.
Anime was like a second thought.
Was there
pure second thought?
was there any pachinko machines?
No pachinko. A lot of gachapons, a lot of twisting and a lot of claw machines. So yeah, the twisty machines and the claw machines. And I actually forgot I don't have I did win something. But everything there for joining their social media or something, you could get something for free. So there's a lot of stuff that you can get for free there. But it was all corporate. It was really, really packed full of people, even for 4th of July. Apparently not as packed as the other days, but for 4th of July, pretty packed. But everything, the vast majority of stuff you can get there can be free as long as you do tasks. But it lives up to the name Line Con. You know, you and I, we don't believe in lines, but we're not special anymore in that case at a place like this.
Sure.
So I was in a lot of lines, which is why my feet were killing me, because I was standing still a lot in lines. If I was walking more, it probably wouldn't have been such an issue. And plus, I expected to be by myself. I didn't expect to be hanging out with this girl and her friend. But we got along. All three of us got along really well.
You know,
so
I mean,
I wasn't
it's not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing. I made friends. They have my number. I have theirs. We're all big friends now because we actually like traded information. For hours, just again, I went to all the gaming stuff, sure, but it was bad. So some highlights of the Anime Convention Center or Anime Expo is they did show anime. So you have that.
That's good at least. Were there anime voice actors?
A lot of anime voice actors, but again, outplayed by all of the video game voice actors. The gacha game voice actors were there, and they were more enforced because they were the bigger booths. There were so much happened that I don't know where to start. Okay, I'll start with cosplay. I know you have a little bit of a fear of Anime Expo or anime conventions because of the type of people who participate.
Yes.
But the number of gigantic fake boobs and cellulite ass that I saw just hanging out. A lot of women like to be tattooed up, actually. Quite a few like to be tattooed up.
It is, a thing.
Yeah, it gives you, but it gives you a baseline on age at least, because you have to be a certain age to get.
Oh, yeah.
So I had no qualms about staring at all of the flesh on display, because it wasn't just from the cosplayers. The vast majority of the companies there representing their games, like games that I play that are supposed to be like not family friendly, but they keep it pretty PG-13.
Sure.
Just had it all hanging out, which was really shocking to me at
So,
Anime Expo. And I'm
Anime
like,
Expo, that's where all the booth babes are now.
Booth babes are back. Booth babes are very back. Well, there's a game called Brown Dust 2, for instance, which is very much a titty game. So everyone has to have massive breasts that are barely covering, parts of their bits. Like every parts of their bits are barely covered. Stuff like that. Now, mind you, it's not just all women. There was a game that's currently under controversy at the moment called Love in Deep Space. It is an otome game, which means it's made for women. So a bunch of hot 6'5" buffed out Asian men had this display, and women would come up, and the men got to just grope them. Well, the women wanted the men to grope them in every which way. The women would jump on them, like all that weird, like don't touch the cosplayer things. Out the window. They were like
cosplay doesn't mean consent.
Not anymore, because they were these women were like groping these men. They were like all over them. And again, bare chested, their abs are out, they're half naked. They have a mask on just not to show their face, which is good. But they were just getting groped and molested, and they were having a good time. The guys were having a good time because they were there for that. That was the purpose, was to grope and do that. It's just funny that you'd never see that the other way around. You'd never see it the other way around.
I mean, that's excuse me. That's always been kind of the thing with strip clubs.
Yeah,
can't touch the dancers. Us guys, even in a lap dance. I mean, depending. But standard lap dance, you're sitting on your hands. Lady strip clubs. Is that the right way to Chippendale, whatever?
Yeah, I forget. There's another name for those, but yes, yeah.
But like, there's simulated sex that happens. Sometimes there's actual sex that happens. I worked at a place, and a group of the girls there, once a month, would order a stripper. And the stripper would come to whoever was hosting the fucking Tupperware party or whatever. And they were pretty open about how, they would basically get to do whatever they want to this male stripper. And the male stripper was always down for it. I'm like, yeah, same thing doesn't apply at all. I've been to a party where they had a stripper, and there was the stripper's pimp was at the party too, making sure nothing was going to happen, or security guard or whatever. Representative.
So yes, this was the biggest line. There was just a bunch of women of all shapes and sizes just waiting to get their turn to touch one of these very buff, gorgeous-looking men, and good for them. Now, here's the twist. Anime Expo hosted a speed dating.
Oh, I love speed dating.
Apparently, all men in the speed dating. There were no women in the speed dating panel.
Well, that's okay.
Because they were all elsewhere.
Sure.
And also, there is a stigma, or there is not stigma, but there is a stereotype that male anime enjoyers are gross anyway. So I think a lot of them kind of avoided thinking that they're going to be awkward and weird. Now, from my observations, they're not wrong. A lot of men there were very weird.
Sure.
A lot of men there were very gross. A lot of men there were dressed up as women anyway. So whatever. Like, again, I think it's just men are now taking over female cosplaying, because there's so many dudes were dressed up as women at this thing. And this is going to sound controversial. I still don't understand why. I mean, other than I guess that it feels good for them, but I'm like, are there that many? I mean, they can't all be gay, or they can't all be trans or whatever. Like they can't all be that way. There has to be straight men dressing up as women. So it must be a fetish that they're being able to explore in a comfortable environment.
I mean,
which is fine.
Yeah, I mean,
Just,
whatever. I think giraffes are sexy.
It's just it just really surprised me that there are a few male cosplayers dressed as men.
Sure.
Characters. That's all.
I mean, I have a buddy of mine that since we became friends, he's always talked about anytime there's a gender choice at the beginning of a video game, he always has chosen the female character.
And that's me too. I'll always pick a female character, but I'm not going to dress up as that character if I'm going to cosplay. I'm going to dress up as a guy because I'm a guy.
Well, I mean,
it's different when you're controlling a separate character, but when you're presenting yourself, I think you'd want to represent something that looked like you versus something that was not you.
I mean, take that argument, throw it same argument to a girl.
There were not a lot of women.
But I'm just saying though. Like,
yeah,
I've met some cosplay girls that as their character, I was like, holy hell, this is the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. And then like in their normal clothes, they're still beautiful people, right? But I'm like, the fucking all the makeup's off, and that's that particular makeup.
Oh, I see what you mean. I see. So yeah.
The everything you did to become that character, and whether wig, whatever, then it's a completely different person. From I don't know. I think I'm gonna stop talking because it made sense in my head when I started this.
Either way, I mean that's just an observation.
Yeah,
I'm just surprised. Not a dig on any of them more than it is just like I'm trying to wrap my head around it is all. But otherwise, it was very crowded. It was very full. It was a lot of people. The rumors are true. Like if you ever see the social media on it, it was packed. Last thing I'm gonna say is, it's a 4-day event. You need the 4 days. It was in 3 or 4 different buildings, including the Peacock Theater and the Marriott, which are in downtown LA. So it was in at least in 3 different buildings plus another one. I forget which one. It was really big. There were events that were outside of it that I didn't like. There were after parties and like big events afterwards that I wasn't tapped into because I'm not young anymore, I guess. But I wasn't tapped into like some of the other. There was a thing that they did every night called Midnight Mahjong that apparently got torn down because it got too let's just say inappropriate behavior happened for some individuals, and they had to shut it down because of those individuals. But that was a thing that apparently has been going on for years at this convention, and unfortunately this was the year where somebody did something that went too far, which wasn't like a terrible, like it wasn't a crime. It was a crime, but it wasn't like it wasn't like someone murdered somebody or
what a heinous crime.
Yeah, it wasn't heinous. It was just someone. I believe they stopped it because someone kept trying to videotape the cosplayers that were there and the women that were there, trying to record under their skirts. They were doing underskirt stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. And so to protect the people there, and another woman was stomping another guy's dick, and another woman was pouring vodka down her leg into another guy's mouth. But besides that stuff, I think that was acceptable.
That's adult fun right there.
Yeah, I think that was acceptable. I think the guy invading women's privacy.
Yeah, I mean, I can go a couple ways on this one. I mean, it's wrong. You shouldn't do it, but it is at an anime convention. And it is kind of,
Which kind of was why I was a little surprised. Don't get me wrong. I feel like worse stuff happens at Dragon Con, which I know is like a
so that's what I had Dragon Con in my holster. I was waiting for you to finish and be like, you don't ever hear about Dragon Con having the same problems, because again, heavy cosplay, heavy orgies.
Good night, Ginger. I know
Ginger's
those
out. Yes.
Yeah.
Dragon Con, known as Sex Con or Orgy Con, once the stroke of midnight happens or something.
I think because anime conventions like bring in more of the kind of gross nerds that people seem to like associate old nerddom from. Like, I'm a nerd, but I don't think I'm gross. I don't think anyone would look at me and be like, "Ew, gross nerd." But there's some of them out there.
The stereotype exists. There's a reason why the stereotype exists.
And I think more of them are at Anime Expo than they are at Dragon Con, because Dragon Con are more adults and more like normal. Like, I shouldn't say normal, but more like
I wouldn't say normal either.
I'll say mainstream in the sense of they look mainstream. They look like the average.
We should try to do Dragon Con.
I'm down. I've applied. The thing is, it's a lottery, and I've applied several times, and it's a lottery to get in because it's so many people want to go to Dragon Con.
No. I'm not. We're not going with the peasants. We're not going as normies.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, it's press. We need to go.
We're gonna go and flex our resources.
The only thing that sucks about Dragon Con is that it's in the summer in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah, that part, and it is in multiple buildings as well. So you're walking to different buildings.
There you go. Yeah, because it's muggy and hot and humid. I mean, it was humid at Anime Expo, but like, whatever. It's LA. It's not that bad, but
sure.
Atlanta, it's like really murky. So.
Yeah, you can chew the air in Atlanta.
Exactly. All right, our goal for next year, DC Dragon Con.
Yeah, I think it'd be a lot of fun.
It would be.
I would love to kick a hotel room in, kick the door in, and be like, "Who's fucking?"
I know a lot of people who go to Dragon Con. We know people who go to Dragon Cons.
We do. I think if we can make it happen, that I think we'd be taken care of. In more ways than one.
Oh yeah.
Get invited to the orgy. Invited to In-N-Out is trying to spread speaking of orgies. In-N-Out is trying to spread their love across the United States. While they are moving across the United States with, I think, 6 new locations, White Castle is still hanging out in the South and refusing to leave, except for their one location in Vegas. Which, my girlfriend was in Vegas, and I this past weekend I should have asked her to go to White Castle and not even buy anything, just go out in front of it, take a picture.
Your obsession with White Castle, my friend, is so funny to me.
For a while there, I was once a week tweeting to them, and they responded a few times. But I gave up. I gave up the chase of White Castle coming to Colorado or anywhere outside of the South, I guess. I've come to acceptance that if I want it, I'm going to have to go to Vegas.
Sliders are an acquired taste, my friend. I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah, well, but In-N-Out isn't necessarily an acquired taste. I think everybody kind of, if you've had a Big Mac, you've had animal sauce or whatever. Wild, what do they call it? Animal sauce?
First off, they just call it the sauce.
Secondly,
how dare you compare it to a Big Mac?
I'm just saying, it's, all burger sauces are kind of the same thing.
And McDonald's actually now serves the Mac sauce as a dipping sauce for
saw that. That's weird. But the 6 new locations, I don't know where they are. I think Francis has them queued up on his screen.
There's 4. So there's 4 in Tennessee, 1 in Idaho. That's 5. I don't know.
Well, at least the potatoes, are going to be fresh there.
That's true. Difficult to argue with that because you're very right. It's going to be the freshest potatoes that you've ever had.
Depending on where it is, if they run out, they can just open up the back door and just grab a few out of the ground.
Very true. True.
There's I don't know if it's a new addition to the secret menu or if I'm just discovering it. But have you ever seen the In-N-Out item roadkill?
It's not real.
Yes, it is. It's fries. It's the animal fries with cut up burger on top of it. Francis is looking it up for the audio people.
So apparently, according to this, people have tried it, and apparently they were not being served the roadkill fries, at least in California.
Okay.
It's supposedly like an actual secret menu, but it's supposed to be a combination of animal style fries with the Flying Dutchman, which I believe that must be some type of burger thing. I've never had the.
I thought the Flying Dutchman was a burger on lettuce.
It could just be the burger on lettuce. Yeah, it could just be like a protein burger where it's just those
or
things.
The Dutch.
I don't know.
I don't remember. I don't remember the Flying Dutchman.
I don't either, because it's not on here. It must be like a special thing. I mean, because animal style exists, protein style exists, grilled cheese exists, but I don't see that on their regular quote unquote secret menu. So it might not be a thing.
Look, it may just be an internet thing, but I mean, fries with pieces of burger on it would be great.
I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that at all. I'd like that.
And see, the thing is, it's too expensive to get animal fries and a burger if they won't do it yourself. So then you got to buy a burger too. Just plain, just burger and bun. That's it. And I'm gonna break the burger up as soon as you hand it to me.
I would do that.
It's like In-N-Out poutine.
I would, yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
I would do it. I mean, I wouldn't go, hey, can I get roadkill fries? Because they're gonna be like, what are you, stupid? We don't have roadkill fries. But I would do the combination. I'd get the fries animal style with a protein burger or something. So I have the lettuce and the meat. That'd be kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah. I'm into taking whatever the place has, like the secret menu stuff, not just In-N-Out. Is it Del Taco? Yeah, Del Taco. My best friend and I went to. We had nachos at a pool hall that were amazing, and we basically went to Del Taco and had them recreate the nachos.
Oh,
and they didn't really know how to charge us, and we worked it out together. It was awesome. And we went back there a few times, and every time we asked for the same thing, they understood. They're like, oh yeah, we got you.
Apparently there are secret menu items at Del Taco.
Yeah, this wasn't a secret menu. We were just like, will you please make this?
Yeah, they'll do the Go Bold, which is they'll add fries and secret sauce to your burrito. Stoner burrito, which is half-pound bean and cheese burrito loaded with red sauce, secret sauce, and crinkle cut fries. So you can have the stoner burrito.
Okay.
And there's more. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that they according to this is an actual secret menu hack. But I mean, I don't know.
I don't know if I'd want bean, cheese, and crinkle fries together.
All of them is usually crinkle fries added to your burrito or to whatever.
Yeah. So. I mean, some people look at you weird when you put potato chips on your sandwich.
Oh God, that's the best.
But I don't understand why people think it's weird. What is a sandwich? It's all soft fucking texture. The bread, the meat, and there's no texture.
Well, in Ireland, right, they do a crisp sandwich where there's just potato chips on it between two slices of mayonnaise bread.
Oh, I used to do that when I was a kid when I was poor.
Yeah, that's a meal in Ireland.
Oh. That is something in Ireland. I tried asking my parentals who live in Ireland if they've ever gone out and gotten a spice bag, as they call it, from a Chinese.
Spice bag,
they never heard of it, so I had to send them information on what a Irish spice bag was.
Spice bag is a real thing. I think only in Dublin, though. I don't know if it's in the counties. But
Yeah,
I know in Dublin,
and that's what I discovered, that it's a Dublin thing. So my parentals live way out in the country of Ireland, which is 95% of Ireland.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So yeah, they don't make it to Dublin too often.
Dude, that's what I love about freaking Ireland, is because it's just open plains and like nothing, and then you know Dublin is just this gigantic city, but the rest of it's just green.
Yeah, it's just country
It's green.
or
Yeah.
island, I guess. Whatever the fuck. Every country's an island, technically.
There you go again with every country's an island.
Yeah, fight me on it. I think that's everything for this week, Francis. I'm looking
Pretty good.
at the list. I think we got everything. We got some extra
pretty
juice
good.
in for this week and everything.
Yeah.
I believe we'll be back for next week. There's some job
You, man,
prospect
I'm free
stuff
on
going
Tuesday
on. Well, I got some job prospect stuff going on, so like, should work
Play it
out.
by ear.
We'll play it by
Yeah.
ear. I'm sure we'll be here because don't be self-deprecating. But anyway, I was about to beat myself up, Francis.
I knew what you were gonna say. You're gonna say, "How dare you?"
I know. Be nicer to myself. But we'll be back. We will be back next week for more nonsense and trying to figure out what soccer is and all that kind of stuff. Francis, where can people find you on the internets if they wanted to do so?
If you want to go and do stuff, it's it's linktree.com/aka the other guy. You get to see me on. You can see my Instagram and see the pictures that I took of the 2 places I went to at Anime Expo. Because man, again, it was huge and my feet were killing me already. I got to go build endurance.
We need to get you like some hefty insoles, some cushiony, hefty insoles.
Yeah, it's my heels, man. My heels start like aching like nobody's business. It's weird.
That's no
But,
fun. That's not fun.
But otherwise, go check it out. Good time. And yeah. And
We can learn how to, just kneel on your knees and like give your feet a break.
sort of. Yeah, it kind of takes the pressure off your feet. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah, or like
Yeah.
learn how to just like walk on your toes like a ballerina.
Ooh, oh, I'll have to do that.
I don't know. That might actually make it worse
Maybe.
because then your
Where
feet,
you-
then your toes are gonna hurt. You're like, oh, let me rest on my heels. Oh fuck, my heels hurt. Let me rest on my toe. Oh shit, now they hurt too.
Just cut off my feet and put robot feet on me. Let me be the 6 million man and put robot feet on my legs.
That would be sweet.
It's not my legs that hurt, my feet. Just
Yeah.
replace my feet. Be happy camper.
Well, we don't have the technology yet, really, for like real robot feet. But I would take like exoskeleton Terminator 2 feet. Where you just see all the linkage.
Do you have time for your plug?
I don't know. You find me at 303. What is it? Linktree.com/303 Ninja.
The 303 Ninja.
The
yes,
303 Ninja. Find all the stuff there for me and the points of interest and this and the podcast. Francis doing stuff and the song's ending and we're out of here. We'll see you next time. Bye. That's the wrong button. I'm hitting all